Hillman's club tonight. David DeJesus will lead it off. He's the left fielder. Willie Bloomquist, the right fielder, batting in the 2-hole. And Billy Butler, Mike Jacobs, Alberto Callaspo, and Miguel Olivo in the middle. Mitch Meyer, Alex Gordon, and Unieski Betancourt rounded out. Alex Gordon, a late addition to the Royals lineup. Mark Teahan was scratched from the original starting 9.
David Huff making start number 21 this year. He's looking for his 10th win. He is 9-7, a 6.23 ERA. Last time he pitched against Kansas City and Luke Hochevar, it was a win. Back on August 26th, he went 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs. The Indians won 4-2. That was his 8th win of the year. Let's check out the defense behind David Huff, brought to you by Honda. It looks like this. In the outfield from left to right, it'll be Crow, Brantley, and Chu. On the infield, Peralta at third, Cabrera at short, Carroll is at second, Marte at first, Jimenez is behind the plate.
Umpiring crew, Jerry Meals calling the balls and strikes. Ron Culp at first, crew chief Dale Scott at second, Mike Estabrook down at third. So DeJesus steps in, all ready to get us underway. And a called strike to start the game.
Well, last start for David Huff, he beat Minnesota. He went 7 innings. Left-handers were just 1 for 10 off him, and that's a key. If he can do that, he will be very effective.
And he's ahead 0-2.
Because coming into the game, left-handers were hitting 340 off him. So that's going to, and he had a good breaking ball.
Now the 0-2. And DeJesus just spoiled it to stay alive. 64 degrees our game time temperature here in downtown Cleveland under crystal clear skies. Starting to feel a little bit like fall.
Yeah, it was beautiful, though. Beautiful day.
Just missed in off the plate.
DeJesus, one of the heroes for Kansas City last night with the 2 outfield assists, number 12 and 13. 1 in the 9th, 1 in the 11th to keep the game tied and give the Royals an opportunity to win it.
Just missed away.
Pitch.
Almost had him rung up.
See, that's a pitch. I don't know how left-handers lay off it. That was a good breaking ball. Right there, and it's just off the outside edge. I'll tell you what. Whew. Close.
And the 2-2 fouled away. The last time the Kansas City Royals had a win streak like this one was back in May when they won 6 in a row. And at that time, they led the division by 3 games.
Yeah, they were early May. They were off to a very good start, pitching very well.
Fouled away. But this is what happens when you're Kansas City. You win 6 in a row. You lead the division by 3 games. You promptly lose the next 6 in a row and never sniff first place again. And that's just the way it's been for them lately.
It's almost been, that's the way it's been for every team in the division this year, it seems like. Point.
Third baseman Johnny Peralta makes the catch, and DeJesus retired for out number 1. Today's injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Friedman, Damiano, and Smith. When you're injured, depend on us. Find Friedman, Damiano, and Smith online at fdslaw.com. Mark Teahan was scratched from the lineup, as I mentioned, for Kansas City. Lower back tightness. He's day-to-day. Willie Bloomquist steps in, batting in the 2-hole. And a little bit inside for ball 1. Bloomquist did not play in the series opener last night.
But a guy that we have seen a lot this year. He has played just about everywhere. He's hitting .300 against the Indians this year, 9 for 30 with 3 ribbies. He's played right, short, second. He's played all over.
He had a 9-game hitting streak in late August. Left-handed pitching has given him trouble, though. Pops this one up. Huff near the mound will give way to Peralta.
Oh boy, Huff went over there. He wanted to catch it until he heard Johnny call him off.
Bloomquist just 7 hits in his last 70 at-bats against left-handed pitching now. Here's Billy Butler, 1 for 5 last night. He's been on a tear for the Royals. He's hit in 7 straight games, batting .500 during his streak. Let's take a look at our league leaders, brought to you by the Indians Team Shops. Billy Butler trailing only Brian Roberts and Adam Lynn in the doubles department. And a strike is called, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back. No score, just underway here at Progressive Field. Billy Butler batting with the bases empty and 2 down. And Huff took a little too long. Butler steps away. And now again, time is called. And the 1-2 pitch is just a bit outside. David Huff preparing for his start here this afternoon. Spent time in the clubhouse watching his alma mater UCLA battle Tennessee, and the Bruins.
I think a lot of people start
victorious.
To pay attention to the NCAA football.
There's a long drive to left, but backing up is Trevor Crow. He'll make the catch. And Kansas City goes 1-2-3. The Indians coming to bat when we come back. Brantley, Carroll, and Cabrera. Chu, Peralta, Hafner, Marte, Crow, and Jimenez. Michael Brantley steps in to lead it off, 0 for 4 last night. First game in his Indians career, he did not collect a hit. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1 to count.
O'Shaver has been on some kind of drought. His last win came back on July 25th against the Texas Rangers when he punched out 13 guys. But it has been a 7-game drought.
Good fastball, but in off the plate. 2-1 to count. O'Shaver taking a lot of time. And that's fouled away by Brantley.
Well, Luke is 1-3 lifetime against the Indians in his 4 starts. That win came right here last year, May 3rd. It was a 4-2 win over the Indians in KCA Sabathia.
There's your scoring target for Michael Brantley. Just how far does he have to hit it to get to that target?
That's a pretty long way
Maybe
right
a
there.
Poke.
Well, you know what he can do? He could throw it to him from center field.
There's a fly ball the opposite way, but DeJesus backpedaling will make the catch one away.
Let's check out the Royals defense for you. Behind Luke O'Shaver tonight, it's DeJesus in left, Meyer in center, Bloomquist in right. Gordon at third, Betancourt at short, Cayespo at second, Butler is at first with Olivo behind the plate. Luke O'Shaver making his 21st start of the year. Second against the Indians, 6-9, an ERA of up over 6. You can see 133 hits, 86 strikeouts. And first ever overall selection in 2006 for Kansas City. Spent some time down in AAA Omaha this year. Was called up right at the beginning of June.
Jamie Carroll looks at a strike 1-1. Carroll has good career numbers against O'Shaver. Thus, he gets the start here this evening. 3 for 4. One pitch. There's a drive to the gap. This could be trouble. And it's going to drop. Or did he make the catch? No, he didn't come up with it cleanly.
Trapped it.
Boy, there's a heck of an effort by DeJesus.
Yeah, he almost smothered it is what he did. He got it over there and got it on the bounce. Good effort. He wasn't going to get there. I mean, he really did come out of nowhere. And he's lucky that that ball did stay in his glove, or Carroll might have had a triple.
Oh, you're not kidding.
You know, because the ball hits the ground and he smothers it.
With his body more than his glove.
Exactly.
Huh?
He just stopped it and then rolled over the top of it as it comes down, and there you see it sliding right on his chest. So that ball, good thing it stayed there. So that it is a double for Jamie Carroll, his 9th.
As Dribble Cabrera steps in now as the Indians try to grab the early lead. Fouled away. Blooped, shallow center, coming hard. Mitch Meyer dives, and he makes a terrific catch.
Well, you got guys all over the outfield diving. That ball stayed up just enough. Cayespo at second wasn't going to make the play. A nice hustling play and a diving catch by Mitch Meyer. Here he comes. Last-ditch effort. He picks it up before it hits the grass. And at least saves a base. It would have been first and third. Nice play.
Now Chu will try to deliver the big 2-out hit. O'Shaver's pitch is outside, ball one.
O'Shaver out in his last start, really roughed up by the Angels in 3 2/3 innings. Gave up 7 runs on 9 hits. So he departed in that game early.
Fastball misses up high, 2-0. Checks the runner at second. And Chu with a chopper to first. Butler fields it cleanly. And the Royals get out of the jam. No score after one. Airline of the Cleveland Indians, Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right. Buy McCafe coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental Indentures, we make seeing the dentist easy. No score, second inning here at Progressive Field. Mike Jacobs leading off for the Royals. And the Huff pitch just missed. Indians shift 3 on the right side for Jacobs, who recently said, quote, "For me the rest of this season, well, I have to show these guys or whoever else might be watching that they've got a decision to make as far as what they want to do with me." And for Mike Jacobs, it will be interesting at the end of the season to see what, if anything, the Royals do. He's making over $3 million this season, and he's arbitration eligible. And the Royals certainly control his rights. But what they've gotten from Jacobs this year is not exactly what they had in mind when they traded Leo Nunez to the Marlins in exchange for Jacobs.
Well, no, he turned into what he is just a part-time DH.
Now, since August 2nd, which is a little over a month, he's hit .294. But too little, too late, I'm afraid.
Well, he's played well against the Indians this year, too. We've seen him, remember, hit a couple big home runs for him early.
High pop foul.
Here's a guy that's had a really solid year for him.
Oh, without a doubt.
Alberto Calespo, I mean, he's been around that 300 mark all year. They have him hitting in the middle part of the lineup when he's either a number 2 hitter or maybe down farther in the lineup. But this kid can put the bat on the ball.
Trevor Crow backing up in left field to pull it down. 2 away. Fans, don't forget to stop by Alvin's Jewelers and check out their Pray for Rain promotion. You buy your engagement ring at Alvin's Jewelers, then if it rains on your wedding day, the engagement ring is free. Log on to alvinsjewelers.com or stop by for all the details. Miguel Olivo. He was the Royals' offense last night. He drove in both of their runs. One with a ground out. That was their first run. And then a 12th inning homer. That won it. What was interesting about the 12th inning homer is that in the bottom of the 11th inning, he absorbed a pretty violent collision at the plate with Michael Brantley, and he looked a little woozy as he walked off and went into the dugout, and then he comes up and hits a game-winning home run.
Well, he wasn't woozy enough to pick on that hanging slider, I'll tell you that. And he seeks the fastball. He loves that. And if you keep that slider down on the outer part of the plate, he's not going to hit it for the most part. He's going to take that same swing. But when you hang it, and then a lot of pitchers hang sliders, as Huff walks them.
On 4 pitches. So a 2-out free pass brings up Mitch Meyer. Let's have a look at the Alltel text poll question of the game. Who do you think will be the Indians' starting catcher next year? Will it be Kelly Shoppach, Wyatt Torregas, Lou Marson, Carlos Santana? Text your answer to 31962, and we'll have the results later tonight. Certainly a lot of choices there.
Well, the only guy we have not seen is Santana, who's been at Double-A and had a great year. And I was hoping to get a chance to see this kid because offensively he's ready for the big leagues. He could be the second coming like Victor Martinez, because Victor is a guy that jumped from Double-A right to the big leagues. Didn't spend any time at Triple-A.
A little bit.
Yeah, briefly. And you know what? Maybe that is a thought process next spring, at least right now. Start him out at Triple-A, and maybe a couple months into the season he can come up. We'll see.
Fastball strike outside edge.
Still a long way away.
By the way, the Arrows were rained out last night in Reading, Pennsylvania. They're up 2-0 in their best-of-5 series. Big bouncer to first. Marte will step on the bag. We'll go to the bottom and a half of inning number 2. No score here in Cleveland. Title contestant right there, huh? Here's Johnny Peralta. And a first pitch strike from Luke Hoshaver. Johnny Peralta, Travis Hafner, Andy Marte here in inning number 2. Good off-speed pitch. Had him backing up, and it's 0-2. He went too far.
Yes, he did.
And that'll be a strikeout for Luke Hoshaver, his first. 1 down.
And that slide, you see, he went out there. He got out on that front foot, and he certainly did.
Here's our great clip of the game from last night. Travis Hafner had 3 hits for the Tribe and drove in their only run. That liner that DeJesus could not come up with plated the Tribe's only run of the night. Relax, you're at Great Clips. So Hafner, after his 3-for-5 performance, is now batting .284 on the year. Well, Royals starting pitching has become a problem here of late in a big way. Royals starter Gil Mesh is apparently done for the year with a shoulder issue, and right-hander Brian Bannister has flown to New York to get a second opinion on his shoulder.
Oh, I thought Mesh had a back problem, but it's his shoulder, huh?
Trey Hillman, Royal skipper, said yesterday that Gil Mesh would most likely be shut down for the final few weeks of the season. He declined to speculate on whether or not Bannister might need surgery.
Well, and what's the reason? You're not going to let these guys pitch. You shut them down for good.
Just fouled on the right side.
Couple weeks left to go. Nothing to shoot for, really. And boy, and when they got off to the good start this year, it all revolved around their pitching.
Yeah.
Because when you look at them offensively, they're last in the league in batting average, second to last in runs scored, and in home runs, and in walks. So this is a team that's basically built on pitching.
You really thought at the start of the year with Greinke and Mesh and Bannister and even a guy like Hoshaver, they had a pretty good starting rotation that, you know, should keep them in games and give them a chance to win.
When you think about it, when they broke camp, Hoshaver didn't break with him. He went down to AAA. Bannister went down. Remember, he got called up to make his first start against us and beat us because that guy, he can throw his glove out there against the Indians and beat them, it seems like. So those guys, they had to work their way up from AAA.
Yeah, remember Kyle Davies was a guy they were kind of counting on as well.
He's pitching tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, he's going up against Carlos Carrasco.
Davies 7-9 on the year. Hoshaver now with a payoff pitch. And Hafner drives it towards center field. Mitch Meyer grabs it, 2 down. Well, hopefully the Indians can find the power stroke and we can raise some more money for the Gathering Place. Every homer hit by the Indians this year. And Great Clips donates $50 to the Gathering Place. Rick and I are each donating $5 per Indians dinger. You can make a donation as well. Log on to touchedbycancer.org to learn more about the Gathering Place. Andy Marte, 0 for 5 in last night's series opener. He very nearly won the game with a walk-off homer, but just got under it a little bit. And David DeJesus, the left fielder, with his back almost pressed up against the wall and left, made the catch. That was in the bottom of the 10th inning. That was sandwiched in between the innings in which the Indians had the potential winning run thrown out at home plate by left fielder David DeJesus. So, frustrating night for the Tribe. 2-0 pitch. Marte taking all the way, and it's a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Both pitchers in the second inning, after retiring the first 2 hitters, issued a 4-pitch walk. And it will bring up Trevor Crowe.
Well, you can see he's going to hit left-handed tonight. The last time he played in the ball game and he faced a righty, he hit right-handed. That was a couple of days ago against the Rangers.
Eric Wedge said that Trevor Crowe felt good enough to swing from both sides of the plate now, which is why he's in there in the starting lineup. That and the fact that Eric really felt like Matt Laporta just needed a break. You know, Laporta, who had a real hot spell there with a 10-game hitting streak, has just 5 hits in his last 41 at-bats. And he said, you know, when you're a young player like that, you probably haven't gone through a stretch like that in the minor leagues where major league pitchers have just carved him up. They've got scouting reports on him, and he's fallen out of some of the good habits that he was in when he was red hot. And so just a chance to give him a day to catch his breath. Trevor Crowe takes a strike. Marte, with 2 down, takes a modest lead at first. Popped in the air, slicing, and that'll go out of play.
You know, when you're a young player and you're getting an opportunity to make an impact or to make a statement for your first major league, opportunity to get out there, you have to stay away from injury so you can prove that you belong out on the field.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that, that sets you back. You finally work hard enough to get an opportunity to get to the big leagues. You can't get hurt. And I think it was a freak accident how he got hurt. I believe it was for diving for that one ball coming in on with that oblique. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was from swinging.
I think it was. It was when he dove. It was like a cross-body dive.
Yeah, and he just missed it. I think it was against the White Sox or something. Came in. I don't know if it was Jermaine Dye or something, but it was in one of those plays. And, a couple days later, he was out of the lineup, and he wasn't playing. And next thing you know, he went on the DL.
Strike 3 called. Inning over. 2 complete, no score. Why couldn't we have been the guys that came up with that idea?
Isn't that the truth?
It's become a tailgating staple.
So easy, huh? Just put it in the trunk, and there it is.
Alex Gordon leads off the third inning for Kansas City. Takes a strike. Went 1 for 2 last night. Quickly 0-2 the count.
Now, we've seen David Huff do this a number of times this year where he's been very good at getting ahead in the count. Sometimes he has had his problems putting him away after he gets ahead 0-2. And that's something that you learn as a young pitcher. You don't want to be too fine and give up 0-2 hits like he has, but
right.
You don't want to let him back into the count. You know, it's a fine line.
Grounded foul.
But
In my 10 years of doing play-by-play, I don't think I've ever seen anybody give up 0-2 hits like Paul Byrd last year.
Oh, that's without a doubt. I mean, we were counting them.
Yeah.
He was one of the highest in the league as far as giving up 0-2 hits.
And that's a veteran who's been around a long time.
I know it. Well, and I mean, he was ahead of everybody. He was a strike machine. He was throwing at 70-75%.
He takes care of Gordon, gets his first strikeout, does David Huff. 1 down. Well, let's have a look at our Subway fresh face of the game. And tonight we take a look at Lonnie Chisenhall, Eastern League MVP.
How about that?
5 for 6. They got rained out last night, but they're looking to close it out.
We'll have to get a score. We'll have to get an update on that. They've had a solid year. Matter of fact, they're up 2-0 right now. Bo Mills hit a home run, 2-run homer. These guys are quick, boy. They already know it in the truck.
In the hole, base hit. Yuniesky Betancourt, 0 for 5 last night. Singles in his first plate appearance here this evening. And the number 9 man aboard with 1 out in the third for Kansas City.
Leaves this pitch up. Gives him swinging room. Up, out over the plate, and he is able to pull that one in the hole. So the first hit of the night comes from the number 9 hitter, Yuniesky Betancourt.
Here is David DeJesus. Popped up to third his first time up tonight. And a breaking ball in for a strike.
You know, that's something else I'd like to see David Huff do, which he did right there. Throw a get-me-over curveball, strike one, not only to left-handers but to right-handers, because it'll take him off his fastball. And you see the left-hander, DeJesus had good swings on his breaking ball his first at-bat when he had 2 strikes. But he's sitting in a situation, the first pitch for a fastball, and he takes that curveball, and it's just a get-me-over pitch to get you ahead of him.
One delivery is a strike at the knees. Runner at first with 1 out and a 1-2 count on David DeJesus. Softly served to right, it will drop a base hit. So back-to-back singles with 1 out here in the third. And Willie Bloomquist will be the batter.
See, now DeJesus went down and got a good breaking ball there. He was sitting on that pitch. He got a look at it on the first one. That's a pretty good location, down and away. DeJesus, boy, kept his hands back nicely and hit it into right field. That's a pretty good job of hitting right there, lefty on lefty. He's a tough out. He always has been against the Indians. Pretty solid little player.
Now here's Willie Bloomquist. That hit for DeJesus, by the way, extends his hitting streak to 13 in a row. Missed again, 2-0. Bloomquist, as I mentioned earlier, after he popped up his first time to the plate, just 7 hits in his last 70 at-bats against left-handed pitching. So left-handers have really had his number of late. And the 2-0 pitch is a strike. In the American League Central Division earlier today, the Chicago White Sox leapfrog past Minnesota into sole possession of second place in the division. Twins have lost 3 in a row.
Twins are really scuffling.
Meanwhile, the Tigers have lost 4 straight, but they have an early lead over Toronto in their game tonight. Pop back out of play.
Well, the White Sox came back to win that one. They blew a save. Bobby Jenks, but they ended up winning it 4-3 over the Angels this afternoon.
Yeah, Minnesota got destroyed last night by Oakland.
Well, those are the 2 teams we'll be playing for the next week, Minnesota and Oakland.
Mm-hmm. 3 at the Metrodome, 4 next weekend in Oakland.
Looking forward to going out to the Oakland Coliseum out there and watch the football field on the baseball field. You don't see that anymore.
No.
That is a rarity nowadays.
In the air center field, Brantley makes the grab. Runners have to hold, 2 down.
Well, visit a participating Northeast Ohio subway location and pick up a coupon for half-off upper box tickets. They start and can be redeemed at the Progressive Field box office or at any Indians team shop. And the next subway half-off ticket game will be Friday, September 25th against the Orioles. And also, that is clam bake night at the Terrace Club. Make your reservations because we had a little taste of it last night, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, take advantage of that.
It really is, and it's the last one that's going to happen, the 25th, that clam bake up at the Terrace Club, and it's very good. Chef James, and what kind of soup did they have tonight in the press room?
Clam chowder.
Clam chowder, you got it.
It's that time of year. Season's winding down. The 1-0 missed inside. Not only
there he is. There's James.
Not only the clams outstanding, but the lobster.
Yeah,
was
the corn was
incredible.
Outstanding. Look at they put together some nice plates last night. My partner right there, he is not bashful. He can get after it. And we can't too. There's Gary in the background too. Look at him.
Gary really liked the ginger chicken. I think that was his favorite.
That's not true. He liked the cold beer.
Smoked sausage is also good. All part of the program. 2-1 to count. Gary tried to take the cast iron skillet home, but it wouldn't fit in his bag, so
wouldn't fit in his car. Yeah, they had a couple of big ones.
2-1 pitch. Boy, didn't miss by much. Those cast iron skillets they used, they could double as manhole covers on East 9th Street.
Yeah. Well, they said they wanted those back. Those things are. That was fun. It was very, very good.
Mike Jacobs hoping for a chance.
Well, you be careful right here.
3-1 pitch. Loop towards right center. Drops coming around third. Betancourt is going to score. Royals grab the lead to Jesus goes into third. And on the 3-1 pitch, Billy Butler delivers his 78th run batted in on the year.
He's their clutch guy. He's their clutch RBI man. And it wasn't a bad pitch. It was inside, and he goes inside out. He really tries to stay inside the baseball, as a lot of good hitters do. He jams him. I mean, that was a decent pitch. But with the count in his favor, boy, that's good hitting. 2-out hitting, so the Royals will take a 1-0 lead. 3 hits in the inning. And he'll keep it going and give Jacobs an opportunity.
Jacobs hit the ball right on the nose his first time up. But with nobody on base, Peralta was over towards the shortstop position, and he made the catch easily. Now with a runner at third, he's got to play closer to third base. So
that's an automatic base hit now.
Jacobs goes the same way, yeah, they'll have another run.
But we'll see if they pitch him the same way, because you're right. He hit it right into the tracks where Peralta was playing short. But with a man on third base, he's got to stay over closer to the bag. So there's a big hole over there.
0-1 misses down low. Down low. 2 balls and a strike. Again, Mike Jacobs talking about his future in Kansas City. He said, I need to force them to make a decision at the end of the year as far as what they want to do with me. I'm a 4-year guy, and you know how that works. Fastball, strike 2-2.
The only way you can force him to do anything with you is play and put up good numbers. That's how you force him to play you.
That's exactly right. That's why he says, I need to force them to make a decision. And the only way he can do that is to be productive. You know, and I guess for his part, 18 RBIs in his last 28 games. But from an evaluation standpoint, as the runner goes, it's outside.
Boy, there's
how
some
do you
awfully
know
close pitches.
How do you know what's real and what's, well, you know, he's putting up a lot of RBIs now, but, you know, you're talking about a last-pace club, and most of the season's gotten away from you.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you get pitches like that, you better put up numbers. That's a good pitch. That'll look like a strike to me.
3-2 pitch, swung out and missed. Go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Royals. Down 1-0. Luke Hochevar has struck out a pair. He's walked one, allowed one hit. Strike just above the knees. Jimenez getting a chance to start behind the plate tonight. With David Huff on the hill, Eric Wedge feeling the two of them really work well together. Wants to try and take advantage of the fact that they have worked together in the minor leagues in the past, and there's a comfort level there. 0-2 the kill.
Well, and that's the bottom line. When you've got that pitcher on the mound, if you got a guy that can go behind the plate and make that pitcher relax, and it's good because Jimenez has really struggled this year offensively. When you hasn't gotten playing time.
When you're 1 for 26 and 2 for 42, you're looking for any way possible to get in the line.
Right. I mean, it's just one of those things. He got off to a rough start. He never played a whole lot, and you know, I mean, who knows? He plays different positions, but he's not what you would look at as a utility guy. At least I wouldn't think so. It may make his value a little more valuable, but
I agree with you in that young players really aren't utility guys.
No.
They don't have the experience to fill that kind of a role.
That's exactly right. You can at the big league level when you've never played every day.
Unless you're talking about a guy who plays every day, but he just happens to play at a different spot.
Well, but that's not a utility guy. That's an everyday player that just plays different positions. There's a difference. Tony Phillips was one of the first guys, if you remember him with the Oakland and Detroit and with various different teams. You know, he would play every day. Just a matter of where.
Jimenez strikes out. Third punch out for Hochevar, one down. We'll go back to the studios right now for a Ford Sports update. Here's Al Pulowski.
Matt, Rick, you were talking about the Angels-White Sox game. Here was the game-winning run. A wild pitch here by Kevin Jepson in the top of the 10th. Scored Scott Podsednik. That was the game winner. White Sox top the Angels this afternoon, 4-3 in 10.
Here's Michael Brantley, fly to left his first time up. I want to continue that conversation for a minute here.
I'd like to.
Because I remember Kurt Bavacqua being a guy who was looked at as sort of a handyman, utility guy, played a lot of different positions. And I'm trying to remember if that would have been when he was with San Diego or before that.
Well, it was with San Diego, I believe, or maybe when he started with the Dodgers.
Brantley with a solid line drive to right field, and the Indians have their second hit of the night. But what you're saying, though, is that you need the seasoning and the experience to know how to sit for a couple of days or 6 days and still be able to maintain your swing and come in and play.
If you're going to give me a utility player, I want a veteran. I want a guy that's been there, has played some years as a everyday player. And if I'm on a platoon, I want two veterans. I don't want rookies or younger players because they can't do it.
Jamie Carroll is the perfect definition, really, of a guy who can be a utility man.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He
doesn't need to play every day, and yet he keeps his swing sharp.
He knows what it takes, though, because he has played. And last year he had a chance to play every day with the injuries. But, you know, he's in his 30s now. You know, he's, 34? But he knows, and he never changes his game, his approach. He knows it. And he can help out teams like that. But not many guys can. Of course, a lot of teams try and make people do it that way, but most people have to play.
Ground ball right back to the mound. Hochevar goes to the bag. Betancourt turns two, and the inning is over. 3 complete. It's Kansas City 1, Cleveland nothing. September night here in downtown Cleveland. Alberto Callaspo leads off. Callaspo flied to left his first time up. Told you earlier, David DeJesus extended his hitting streak to 13 in a row. Callaspo looking to run his hitting streak to 12 straight. Pops this one up behind the plate, and it's going to find the seats. Let's pause for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here at Progressive Field. Glad you joined us on this Saturday night as the Indians try to even the series with Kansas City at a game apiece. They trail 1-0 here in the fourth inning. 2-2 the count on Callaspo. Line left field deep. And a one-hop the wall. Callaspo turns and rolls into second base with a leadoff double.
Well, there's his hitting streak. That will continue. The second double of the evening for the Royals. This being a leadoff double. So the first time tonight they've had their leadoff man aboard. Callaspo got a pitch up. So that ball, the hits that David Huff has given up, they were elevated tonight.
So a 13-game tear for DeJesus and now a 12-game streak for Callaspo. And Miguel Olivo steps in. That almost hit him on the thumb.
That was not a good swing. For the first pitch in the count after the leadoff double, you know, this guy's pretty much a pull hitter. But watch this swing. If you're going to pull it, get after it and pull it. He was tardy. I don't know if he was full, but that was an ugly swing.
That was in his kitchen.
That's preventing him from leaning out and trying to slap the ball the other way is what they're doing.
Fouled right back, and did he have a healthy rip?
Well, that's what I was looking for the first pitch. This is a healthy cut. Just pull off a little bit. You can see that head out of there. Tried to hit that one to 9th Street.
Swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. Jimenez will throw to first. And that is out number one. Third strikeout now for David Huff.
Well, visit the official online shop of the Indians at Indians.com. You can browse the largest online selection of merchandise, including caps, T-shirts, jerseys, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. That is Indians.com.
Mitch Meyer steps in. Left-handed hitter. Grounded to first his first time up. And a swing and a miss.
I forgot to turn my scorecard. That's why I said they had their third double. I'm thinking, what am I talking about?
It's your world, pal. I'm just living in it.
Yeah. Don't you ever forget that.
Here's the 0-1. Checked his swing a little bit too high. Well, we're just 2 days away from the most anticipated new show of the fall, the Jay Leno Show. Jerry Seinfeld, Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Rihanna all will be some of the guests you'll see when the Jay Leno Show debuts Monday at 10 p.m. only on WKYC Channel 3. The 1-1. And they count now 1 ball, 2 strikes as Meyer looked at a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Line to right. Chu coming hard. He'll make the head high catch. 2 down. Let's have a look at our direct energy. Bringing the gas sequence. We'll go back to the 3rd inning. Alex Gordon facing David Huff.
Well, Huff's going to start him out with a fastball to get ahead of him. A nice breaking ball to put him down 0-2. Just missed away. Fouled off the breaking ball, but gets him. That one got him to swing out of the zone.
Direct energy, simple solutions for your natural gas supply needs. Goes right at him again with a strike. For Alex Gordon, this has to feel like almost a lost year. You get hurt early in the season, you have surgery. By the time this season wraps up, he'll be just feeling like he's getting ready to go. It'll be time to stop and go home.
That's exactly right. Well, maybe it's what you need after having the surgery and get ready for next year. You know, when you miss a good chunk of a year because of injuries, it really sets your focus and your mindset to get ready for that next spring training. You work awfully hard in the offseason because you don't want it to happen again. And his happened actually on opening day.
2-2 as the fastball graces the outside corner. With a runner at second and 2 down, the 2-2 pitch is fouled right back.
I want to send along some birthday wishes. I'd like to send one out to Rich Lewis from out in Colony, Texas, out near Dallas. Former Niagara Falls boy. Richie, happy birthday to you. Francis Yerman of Avon, turning 96. Happy birthday, Francis, to you. And one special thank you to Frank Bochenik for the peppers he sent up to us.
Oh, yeah.
Frank, if you're listening, thank you. They're
Peppers,
terrific.
They're good on anything.
Yes, they are. Great on sandwiches.
Especially pizza.
Oh, you put them on the pizza, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm no rookie.
Well, Frank, thank you.
3-2 the count on Gordon as that pitch just missed. Big bouncer towards first. Marte on the short hop. But Huff, will he beat him to the bag? He just does. It was close. Gordon went in with a dive, but Huff got the foot in first. Leadoff double does no damage. 1-0 Royals, middle 4. As we move now to the bottom of the fourth inning. And it's Dribble Cabrera, Shin-Soo Choo, Johnny Peralta will try to do some damage against Luke Hoshaver, who has only allowed 2 hits. He has struck out 3, walked 1. Cabrera was robbed of a hit his first time up on a sinking liner that was caught in center field by Mitch Meyer, who made a nice diving grab. 2 balls, no strikes. This scoreboard update is brought to you by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. That went off the glove of Olivo, and I think he was crossed up.
Well, he wouldn't run out there if he was not. And how do you cross somebody up when you only put down one sign? There's nobody on base. Either he did not see it. He was looking for a breaking ball and gets a fastball. You know, I can see with somebody on second base, but when you're only putting down one fastball, 2 breaking ball, you know, not that tough to figure out.
Might want to check his prescription.
Yeah, right.
Strike call, 3-1. And he comes right back, full count.
Well, he pretty much locked Cabrera up there on a 3-1 count. He threw a nice fastball in the inside corner.
And the payoff pitch. Breaking ball just missed, and it didn't miss by much.
Pretty good hitters umpire tonight, I would say.
I seem to recall us saying that last night. Another look.
Well, you know what? It seems to tendency. I don't know if that wraps around the plate, but that's awfully close on a 2-strike pitch. And with pitchers, if you got to put it on the plate, then there's going to be guys, you know, that are going to put it in play and should hit it hard. You don't have to swing at the borderline pitches.
Shin-Soo Choo bounced out to first his first time up. Cabrera, the runner at first, does have 16 steals on the year, but not a guy who's just going to take off and run with reckless abandon. Choo, slow tapper. They're kind of in between, and the flip to the bag, not in time.
Boy,
you talk about 3 guys looking at each other saying, you got it, I got it, and who's got it?
Butler messed up there. He should have went and been aggressive. But Hoshaver started, he didn't know what to do. And I'll tell you what, Callaspo almost made an outstanding play because I'm not so sure that Hoshaver's foot, it missed the bag. And I think that's why I say, look at Butler. Indecision, man. Get after it and get the baseball. He flips it, and it was bang, bang at first base. It was almost a great play by Callaspo. Hoshaver gets over there and see he's searching for the bag. Good call, boy. It was bang, bang. Both feet came down at first base at once. It'll go as an infield single.
And Johnny Peralta struck out his first time up. Looking to do some damage here. Looks at a strike. Johnny Peralta says, I've been here before. This is deja vu for me. 0-1 pitch. Only last night, in these same situations, he got the base hit and the run got thrown out at the plate.
Well, you remember earlier in the game last night for Johnny Peralta that he popped up in the 7th inning with a man on third base when Choo tripled.
That's right.
Before Hafner got the base hit, and he didn't get the run home, but he came in clutch in the 9th and the 11th, and they just couldn't score.
Now the 2-strike pitch. Ground ball to third. It gets by Gordon down into the left field corner. Cabrera scores. Here comes Chu. Johnny Peralta delivers and says, this time I got him home. And the Indians take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, he got him home, but I think there's a lot of help there by Gordon. Alex Gordon, that ball went under his glove on the backhanded side. He's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. The ball was hit sharply, no question about it. But if he puts his glove down there, it's a double play ball. He'll get a double because you're sitting at home, but that's a play, boy. If you're out there at third base, you would like to make that play, and he would have had a double play, but the Indians take a 2-1 lead.
Now Travis Hafner with a runner at second. Now, looking at that on the replay, the question that comes to mind is, should he have tried to slide and get in front of it as opposed to just going to that backhand?
Well, you know what? It was hit hard. And I have no problem going with that backhand. He just was a little too tentative. You know, that's from not being out there a whole lot lately at that position. But I would say a good third baseman makes that play.
Hafner fly to center his first time up.
Certainly not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
He socks this one to straightaway center. Meyer will make the backpedaling catch. And Peralta holds at second. One down. One more look at that play at third base by Gordon.
One step. He shuffled sideways, and he just never got ready. He was too lazy getting down on the ball. You know, if he would have crossed over, he shuffled like he was going to get in front of it instead of crossing over and backhanding it. That's where he made the mistake.
It's almost like he got caught in between. What should I do? Backhand it or get in front of it?
That's exactly right. He did. That's exactly what happened. He was caught in between.
Andy Marte fouls it by Joel Skinner in the third base coaching box. The 0-1 pitch. Good curveball in there for a strike. I know as an outfielder, situation dictates normally what you do, but the toughest play has to be that you're running in. Do I dive? Do I stop? And you get in between, and you're not really sure what to do. You've got to commit one way or the other.
Well, and you also have to know the situation, the score of the game, and who's running and who's hitting. And there's a lot of factors that go into the play before it's even hit to you. And that really, you make that play in your mind before it even comes into play. You should. A lot of times when you're caught in between, it's because of you're just unsure.
Lack of preparation creates doubt.
Yeah. Well, and you can't prepare for everything either. I mean, sometimes you get out there and the element of surprise gets you.
That's where you just let your instincts take over, I imagine.
Yeah, instincts usually do.
The 1-2 pitch. Low and away.
I'm going to send out some birthday wishes, too, to my little sister, Gwen, turning 50 today. Gwen, happy birthday. We celebrated it last weekend, but today is the official day. So, Gwen, happy birthday to you. I don't know what you're doing.
Peralta at second with one out, and the 2-2 pitch to Marte. Full count. A lot of pitches made in this game. This is number 60 coming up for Hochevar. 35 strikes, 24 balls to this point. And the 3-2. Low, ball 4. Second walk in the inning. Third walk in the game. 2 on, 1 out. Trevor Crowe coming to the plate.
Well, Tuesday, when we return home on September 22nd, it'll be against the Detroit Tigers. It'll be Dollar Dog Night. That may be the last one of the season, too. So come on out and see how many you can eat. $1. Indians Tigers, September 22nd.
Trevor Crowe out on strikes his first time up. He's got a chance, though, to increase the Indians' lead here. They're up 2-1.
Well, this has been the one thing that Luke Hochevar has done this year. The big inning has been his problem.
Little slow tapper up the first base side. It's going to stay foul.
You know, Hochevar has been scored upon in 42 innings this season. And of those 42 innings, 20 times, now 21, teams have put crooked numbers on the board on them. They've had 5 3-run innings, 4 4-run innings, 1 5, and a 7-run inning. So, you know, it seems like when you can get to him, you can get multiple runs in that inning. So get him, because he seems to, he can't stop that snowball effect. They have 2 on the board now with a chance for more. And the Indians, on the other hand, we've seen them this year. When they have innings, they can have big innings, 4 and 5-run innings.
High and wide. 1-1 to count.
The Indians have scored 5 or more runs in an inning 14 times this year.
There for a while, that seemed to be the only way they did score.
It was after the break. You're right.
Fisted in the air. Second baseman Cayespo has it. 2 down. And that'll bring up Chris Jimenez. Hey, we're right back here tomorrow on WKYC to wrap up this 3-game set with Kansas City. We'll have Carlos Carrasco towing the rubber for the Tribe, so join us starting at 1 p.m. Indians Royals on your official Cleveland Indians station, WKYC Channel 3. Two on, 2 out. Tribe on top, 2-1. And a fastball strike to the outside corner. Johnny Peralta delivering a 2-run double on a hard ground ball past third baseman Alex Gordon, who was in the lineup only because Mark Teahan was scratched late with lower back stiffness. Oh, and 2 to count with 2 down and 2 aboard here in the 4th. Two-strike pitch. Down low, full 1 and 2. Been a long inning for Luke Hochevar.
Well, and rightfully so, not for his part. That double that Peralta got, you know, no help from his third baseman,
Yeah,
so that
true.
prolonged the inning. I mean, there was nobody out after that double, so he's had to work his way through it. And he's got
Olivo couldn't hold that one, as it
that one put it
banged
almost
off him.
stuck in his chest.
Sometimes it's just no fun being a catcher.
I don't know when it is fun being a catcher.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to last night when Olivo, he tagged those two guys out at the plate, but he was the guy that really was on the receiving end of the collision both times, too.
Well, on the one with Cabrera, he at least had the ball first, and he was able to brace himself. The one with Brantley was a little closer, where he took more of the hit.
There's the 1-2 pitch. Jimenez bloops it the other way, but it's going to drop foul. You know, it's interesting, Rick. I was listening to something that Joe Montana said the other day, and they're asking him about injuries in football and, you know, the violent collisions that you see in football. And he said, you know what you do? Take away the face mask and see how many of these guys go flying in there head first trying to make these, you know, blow-up tackles. And him saying that made me think about that collision at the plate last night. I mean, those are pretty violent collisions. But because guys are running in there without any equipment on, they're not.
Yeah, you're not going head first. That's true.
Football would be a whole different game if they weren't dressed in armor. Pitch inside, 2-2. Speaking of equipment, though, and trying to make improvements to keep guys safer, there's a helmet that they're experimenting with.
A new one. I see.
And I think they're going to wear maybe in spring training or at least in the instructional league and go from there.
It's a bigger one, isn't it? Much bigger.
I think David Wright of the New York Mets is wearing it.
He is right now?
Yeah, because remember he had the concussion issues. Yeah, it looks like a football helmet because of the thick padding inside of it. But they think that, you know, guys getting hit in the head, it will cut down on the concussions. You'd like to see guys not get hit in the head by pitches, but it's going to happen, unfortunately, at times. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Hochevar gets out of the inning, but the Indians get 2 runs on the 2-run double by Johnny Peralta. Lead at 2-1 after 4. Eat fresh. And by Alltel Wireless. Choose who you call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network. There's Miguel Olivo, Royals catcher, talking to Hochevar. And it looks like, Rick, he's talking to him about movement on some of his pitches.
Yeah.
Maybe telling him how some of those pitches are reacting from his perspective. Indians have come back to take a 2-1 lead. This is the first time they've had a lead in a game since the last time David Huff pitched, which was against the Minnesota Twins. There's a line drive, and it's going to drop for a base hit, and Unieski Betancourt is aboard.
He's 2 for 2 tonight. Second straight inning that KC has had the leadoff man aboard. Now we'll see if David Huff can keep that lead. He brought the hands in. The other time he threw a pitch up out over the plate where Betancourt pulled it in the hole.
You remember they never led last night. They never led in any of the 3 games against Texas.
Yeah, right.
So you have to go back to David Huff's 3-1 win over the Twins on September 6th.
Well, they do average 5.5 runs per game. There's a beautiful bunt.
Huff will try to throw him out, but no way.
Boy, oh boy, that was a pretty bunt. And De Jesus can run, and he just placed it beautifully, deadened it nicely. Look at that. Gets the fastball, stayed in the box until he got it on the ground, and then just speed beats it out. So back-to-back singles, and back comes Kansas City.
Yes, indeed. They're coming right back, and Willie Bloomquist 0 for 2 will be the batter. Kevin Seitzer, Royals hitting coach, talking with Trey Hillman. Even with his struggles, it's way too early to bunt here, wouldn't you think?
Well, the way Bloomquist hits off, yeah, I mean, it's a 2-1 game. Sure it is. It's a 5th. But you could go ahead and try and lay one down. You got Butler on deck. What you'll do if you bunt him over, you take the bat possibly out of Butler's hand.
In the dirt, 2-0.
He's been able to run the ball in on Bloomquist tonight and make him conscious of the ball inside. And the first time he got him out in, he hit a little fly ball to third, and then change up away that second time where he little pop up to center field. So he has had Bloomquist off stride and off balance.
2-0 pitch. Line, fair ball down the left field line into the corner, and the Royals will tie the game as Betancourt scores. De Jesus coming around trying to give him the lead. Cabrera's throw to the plate, offline, and Kansas City is now in front 3-2.
Well, that didn't take long, did it, to give it right back? And
Really?
Bloomquist, he was right all over that one. Drilled it over the head of Peralta. So 3 straight hits now for Kansas City. That one an extra base hit. Right over the head. Just out of reach of Peralta down in the corner. De Jesus was flying by the time Crow digs that ball out. You can see they're going to send him. Cabrera with the quick relay home. No chance on that throw.
Only the 8th hit in his last 72 at-bats against the left-hander, but Bloomquist delivers, and the Royals come right back to recapture the lead. And Butler takes a rip but fouls it straight back. Butler taking aim against David Huff with a runner at second base and still nobody out here in the 5th. Activity in the Indians bullpen. Pitch number 85 for David Huff is outside. You see Jensen Lewis eating it up. The 1-1 back out of play. The good news for David Huff tonight, 53 strikes. 33 balls, so he's been very aggressive. Pitch in the dirt, 2-2. He's only walked the 1. 3 strikeouts, but 3 straight hits here in the 5th. He's put Kansas City back on top.
Yeah, right after the Indians come back and get the lead, it happened in a hurry, and now Kansas City can, move a runner and try and add on, and Butler goes that way. He drove in the first run because he hit the ball to right field.
In the air,
Not
center
going to
field.
get it done this time, though.
Michael Brantley will make this catch. Runner holds, 1 down. Let's go back to the studios once again for a Ford Sports Update with Al Pulowski.
Matt, Rick, let's go to the Motor City. Tigers leading this one 3-2 here in the 5th. And Marco Scudero, little Texas leaguer to center field. That's in. Joe England coming around 30 scores. Blue Jays tie it. They're all even at 3. Bottom of the 5th in Detroit.
All right, thanks, Al. Boy, Detroit has lost 4 in a row coming into action here tonight. And we talked earlier about the fact that Chicago won. Twins lost again. They've dropped 3 in a row, so Chicago has already leapfrogged Minnesota into second place in the division. And if Detroit's not careful, they could play somebody back into this thing yet. As preposterous as that sounds on September the 12th. But the way this division has gone this year, I guess you don't know until somebody actually clinches it.
It's been a bad division.
The 1-0 pitch is a strike to the outside edge. And just as we speak, Miguel Cabrera steps to the plate for Detroit and delivers a 3-run homer.
Well,
and the Tigers pull away a bit. They've been the most swing and a miss consistent team, I guess, if you will, of the teams in the division, which isn't saying a whole lot. And they've been the one team that was able to put enough of a run together to give them some cushion. Whether or not that cushion is enough to hold on, only time will tell. The 1-2. Good pitch. Struck him out looking, and Jacobs will turn and walk back to the dugout. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. And 2 outs in the inning now for Alberto Callaspo.
Perfect spot. Gets that one called. So a good pitch.
Callaspo hammered a double to left his last time up, and Carl Willis going to make a trip to the mound here. Maybe with first base open.
Well, you have this guy who's a tough out, and can put the ball in play with that runner at second base, and he's coming to the end of his line. You got a guy that swings so hard and tries to hit home runs, an easier guy to pitch to. So he wants to go over the situation and the scenario.
In a 2-1 game, in a 1-run game, you don't want to make one mistake and then all of a sudden, instead of a 1-run game.
Well, that's right. You can try and keep it here, keep it a 3-2 ball game.
Yeah.
I mean, with the way they're scoring and the way they have been scoring, 1 run means a lot.
He goes right at him, outside corner for a called strike. Missed away with the off-speed pitch. David Huff nearing the end of the line here in the 5th inning, his 95th pitch of the night. Popped him up.
Good job.
Cabrera, the shortstop, backpedaling and makes the catch. And after 3 straight hits to open the inning, David Huff gets out of the jam, but the Royals regain the lead. of the Royals as we go now to the bottom of the 5th inning. Indians had rallied back to take the lead, but Kansas City came right back. And so now the Indians will once again try to play catch-up, which is something that they have unfortunately had to do a lot of this year at times. But they've also had some success. How about this? You were talking before we went on the air tonight about the Rockies and their incredible year they're having.
Right.
They came back with a 4-run rally in the 9th inning to beat San Diego last night.
With 2 outs and 2 strikes.
That was the 5th time this year that the Rockies had won a game in which they trailed in the 9th inning or later. Tying them this year with the Tigers, Marlins, Padres, and Indians for the most such wins by any team this year.
No kidding.
Michael Brantley takes a strike.
Well, what were they? They were about 15 games out.
They were, when they fired Clint Hurdle, I remember Dan O'Dowd saying, hey, before anybody says anything, this team just needs to get back to 500. That's the first step. And then they did and just got hot and took off.
15 and a half games out as of June 3rd. And, they've been playing as well, if not better than anybody. I think even the Yankees, they had a better record than, until a week ago. This is a team that's been remarkable.
I think, if I remember right, the question put to Dan O'Dowd was something along the lines of, do you think the season's over, or, where are you at with this move? And he said, I'm not saying that the season's over or anything like that, but for this team to even think about contending or anything, we've got to get back to 500. And give Jim Tracy a lot of credit because he's done a marvelous
absolutely.
job.
And that team, because he goes out and lets them play.
Hard ground ball up the middle, and Michael Brantley is 2 for 3 tonight.
Well, a couple of nice swings, short swing, one hit to right, one to center. So here we go. Back come the Indians with their leadoff man aboard in the 5th. That is hit number 5. There you go, a nice fastball. You can see a nice short swing. That's a line drive stroke. It's a good combination to do something with here, too.
There he goes. Olivo doesn't even bother with the throw.
You know what's great? That was not the hit and run. He took off, and what I like about it, he took off on the first pitch. And Carroll didn't even square to bunt. He gave him an opportunity to steal the bag. So Brantley gets his 3rd stolen base, and you know what? I think it helped him being over there the last time when he was on first. Got a chance to look at his move, so he took off first pitch. Good for him. And steals the bag.
Now the 0-1 pitch. Down low.
And now Jamie going to look for something to move him over. You mentioned he's had pretty good success against Hochevar in his career. He's now 4 for 6.
Mm-hmm. The 1-1 in the dirt. I think it's going to be interesting to see, Rick, next year what the Indians decide to do with the pieces that they have. With Michael Brantley, and granted, we're talking about limited time, September, but if he's a guy that you think could be your leadoff hitter next year, where do you put Grady Sizemore? Is he a 3-hitter? Is he a 5-hitter? Is he a 4-hitter?
I don't know. That's something.
He had 37
home
runs last year.
Look at that.
Inside the bag, down the right field line it goes. Brantley coming around 3rd. He will score to tie the game. Ball kicks away from Bloomquist, and Carroll holds at 2nd with an RBI double as we are back to even. Jamie Carroll's 9th double of the year, is 23rd run batted in.
Well,
and that was reminiscent of that game-winning hit he had earlier this summer.
Sure was. Boy, that's just a professional at-bat where you got the guy on second base and he picks up something high in the zone, and he was focused on going that way. Look at that. His job was to get him over. He not only gets him over, he gets him in. because Butler's off the bag at first. He was thinking third once that ball ricocheted past Bloomquist right there, but he stopped at second. We have a new ball game, and the Indians still with nobody out.
Cabrera trying to bunt his way aboard, and it stays foul. A seesaw battle, if you will. Royals led it 1-0. Indians took a 2-1 advantage. Royals came back with 2 runs to go up 3-2, and now the Indians have come back to tie it at 3. Go ahead, run in scoring position with nobody out. Fouled back again as he had the bat out there looking to bunt. And now the count 0-2 as left-hander Dusty Hughes loosens in the Royals bullpen. Now the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and missed. So on 3 pitches, Cabrera fails to advance the go-ahead run. 5 strikeouts for Luke Hochevar tonight. It's not so much that he strikes out on the breaking ball, but the failed attempt at bunting twice put him in that hole.
Well, that's true, but that was a pretty good curveball. And I think when we saw those two guys talking in the dugout in between innings, that's what they were talking about, between that slider and that curveball. That was a good curveball that had Cabrera out in front. Normally he won't chase that pitch. See, he's got a feel for it now.
He's got it rolling.
I'm telling you, I think that's what those two guys were talking about in that dugout. That's a pretty good pitch right now.
Chu, an infield single his last time up. Takes the ball outside. There is Jamie Carroll, the go-ahead run at second base. Swung on and missed. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, he's getting a feel for that. He is getting a feel for that breaking ball.
And the 1-2 turn, but nothing doing at second base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And that big curveball missed outside. 2-2 the count. As Chu tries to deliver a hit and put the Indians in front. Fouled away. Part of the problem as we play amateur manager and try to envision a futuristic lineup is that with Chu and Hafner and potentially Sizemore together in the middle of that lineup, you're talking about 3 left-handed hitters. And with Brantley, if he is your future leadoff hitter, there's another left-handed stick. So you could be left-handed heavy in a hurry. Chu with a drive, deep right field. Bloomquist back, looking up, gone to Souvenir City. Shin-Soo Choo, his 15th home run of the year. RBIs number 76 and 77. It's a 3-run fifth for the Tribe, and they now lead it 5-3.
Boy, and it has been just about a month since the last time Shin-Soo Choo has homered. You got to go back to August 15th in Minnesota. This is going to be our Pepsi home run replay for Shin-Soo Choo, a 2-runner. And watch it, he got the breaking ball. One too many curveballs this at bat for Luke Hoshaver, and Shin-Soo Choo makes this a 5-3 game. So the Indians with a 3 spot on the board. They scored 2 last inning, come right back and score 3. The 18th home run given up by Hoshaver.
And a foul ball. Is that a case, Rick, where a pitcher and a catcher maybe fall in love with that breaking ball and they forget to, you still have to show them the fastball to take them off?
I don't know.
Or is it just a bad pitch? Bad pitch is a bad pitch.
It may have been a bad pitch, but I mean, when it gets hit out, he's still staying with that curveball, and he threw a couple of good ones in the inning. You know, so you call for it, you have a good feel for it, you say, I'm going to throw it again, but maybe this hitter, you got to sometimes give your hitter credit and say, I'm going to sit on that breaking ball. He did, and he hit a long way.
Johnny couldn't hold up. He went too far. 6th strikeout for Hoshaver, 2 down here in the 5th. Let's get a look at our All Care Dental and Dentures Smile and Easy Cam tonight here at Progressive Field, and a special hello to all the All Care folks watching in North Olmsted, Ohio. All Care Dental and Dentures, they make seeing the dentist easy. Travis Hafner 0 for 2 tonight. He flied to center his first time up. He had a line shot to deep center that was caught his last time up. There's that curveball and a good one for a strike.
You see, he's throwing some good ones. So, you know, the hitters now, sometimes when you can see a pattern or a pitcher continuing to throw that same pitch, they will have to sit on it.
Down low to even the count. Hoshaver with the 1-1. Inside. They tell us Chu's home run just a tad over 400 feet. But you know, just a slight difference from last night. A little bit of a breeze blowing out as opposed to last night. It was coming straight in.
You're right. It was a cooler breeze, and it was turned around. Actually, that flagpole was just sitting limp there for a while.
Hafner fouls it off. Nice crowd here at Progressive Field on this Saturday night as the Indians wind it down here in 2009. 2-2 delivery. Hafner hammers one to deep left to Jesus back, and he'll make the catch. 5 complete from Progressive Field, and Shin-Soo Choo's 2-run homer as the Tri back in front, 5-3. club. Kind of hustling and bustling in there tonight.
Yeah, look at a nice view.
Yeah.
Great view right there. Robert's in there looking for those lobsters that were left in there from last night.
You have any leftover clams?
No, we made the soup today.
David Huff coming back out here to work the 6th.
Well, they gave him a lead back in the 4th inning. He gave it right back in the 5th. They come right back and take it again, 5-3. So this would be an inning for Huff to come back and put a 0 on the board. Give his manager 6 innings.
Just in case Jensen Lewis still warming in the bullpen.
And you're going down to the bottom part of this Kansas City lineup. Although the number 9 hitter, Betancourt, has scored 2 of the 3 runs today, and he's 2 for 2.
Just outside, 2 balls and a strike. High pop on the infield. Jamie Carroll, second base. 1 down. Time now for our Northern Ohio Toyota dealers game recap. Johnny Peralta with a double past third baseman Alex Gordon scored a pair, and the Indians had a 2-1 lead. They were down 3-2, and Jamie Carroll doubled home Michael Brantley to tie the game at 3, and then Shin-Soo Choo's 2-run shot put the Indians in front 5-3. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Mitch Meyer 0 for 2. Looks at a strike. And that is 100 pitches on the night now for David Huff. 62 for strikes. 1-1 to count. Two balls and a strike. Meyer 1 for 6 in the series. And it's fouled back. I'm sure part of the thinking with Eric Wedge and Carl Willis, he's got 2 left-handed hitters back to back here. This would be a good inning maybe to give him a chance to go out there and work his way through it.
Well, it's a test because lefties hit him better than righties do. So, you got to go out and you got to push him and see what he can do.
Weak tapper, it's going to go foul. Let's pause once again for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here at Progressive Field. Tribe in front 5-3 in the 6th inning. 2-2 pitch. He went too far, and a strikeout for Huff, number 5 on the night. 2 down here in the 6th inning.
Well, so far, so good.
Another check of the Alltel text poll question of the game. Who do you think will be the Indians' starting catcher next year? Kelly Shoppick, Wyatt Torregas, Lou Marson, or Carlos Santana? Text your answer to 31962, and we'll have the results later in the game. Alex Gordon 0 for 2 tonight. Looks at a curveball, and it's strike 1. Wouldn't chase after it. 1-1 the count. Fouled away. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Boy, David Huff comes right back sets him down 1-2-3, punches out a pair, and finishes strong in his performance here tonight. In front now as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. David Huff getting congratulations from manager Eric Wedge, really for the way he finished his performance.
I think you're
tonight.
right. He sent him back out there, and he did put a 0 on the board after his team came right back and gave him the lead again, and exactly what he had to do.
Andy Marte has walked twice tonight. And new pitcher Dusty Hughes misses down low for ball 1. Left-hander making just his 3rd appearance for Kansas City.
Well, he made his major league debut on Sunday when he replaced Hoshaver in at 4th in his last start against the Angels.
He's a AAA AAA All-Star this year at Omaha. Just turned 27 years old. Former 11th round pick out of Delta State University.
Where's that at?
Gonna guess Mississippi, but I don't know.
Well, he comes on to walk the first guy.
It is in Mississippi. Cleveland, Mississippi.
Cleveland, Mississippi. Good call.
Don't ask me where that is, though.
Well, remember Jason Davis was from Cleveland, Tennessee.
That's right.
And there's a Cleveland, Mississippi.
There's a Cleveland just about anywhere you go. Trevor Crowe looks at a ball down low. He is 0 for 2 tonight.
Bobby McClure is going to come out and talk to his reliever. He walked the first guy. He's falling behind the hitters, and he wants the young guy to go out and throw strikes. Don't start falling behind the hitters.
Well, tomorrow at 7, join Bruce Drennan for All Bets Are Off on Sports Time Ohio. He'll take your calls and emails to discuss the big Browns-Vikings matchup, find out what happened in the ball game, and go ahead and rehash it tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on STO.
Well, we got to send along another birthday wish tonight to Jason Jennings, sitting out in California. Big Tribe fan watching us tonight. Jason, happy birthday. We'll see you out in the Bay Area when we arrive.
One-0 pitch to Crowe. That's in there for a strike. In the air, deep right center field. Bloomquist racing back, won't get there. Hits on the track, up off the fence. Coming around third, Marte gets the stop sign. He'll have to scamper. Back the ball goes over the catcher, Olivo, but backed up nicely by the pitcher, Hughes. Indians at second and third, nobody out.
Marte's got to score from first base on that ball. That ball hit well into the gap. He could have been off and running when it was hit. Trevor Crowe was at second base waiting to go to third, and Marte wasn't even at third base yet, and that ball stayed in the park. So, I mean, there's a run right there. Although there's nobody out, you knew this ball was not going to be caught as soon as it left the bat.
Did he just get a late start?
Yeah, he just had no. Look at. No, lumbering around third, he should have scored easily. He didn't get a good jump or a good read off that ball. And once the ball goes by, you can see where Hughes is backing up. Shopik's going to come in and pinch hit now.
With activity in the Royals bullpen, we'll see how long Trey Hillman stays with Dusty Hughes after a walk and a double to open the inning. So Kelly Shopik steps in, pinch hitting for just the second time this year. Infield in. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Kelly 0 for his last 5. Now the set. And Andy Marte came scampering down the third base line just to try to distract the pitcher, and Hughes stepped off the mound and faked the throw.
I don't think Hughes has to worry about it. Have to watch him go from first to third.
The 0-2 offering in the dirt. Right-hander Victor Marte warming in the Royals bullpen. Again, it's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7 balls, 4 strikes thrown by Dusty Hughes thus far. Trey Hillman running out of seeds and running out of patience. Now the 2-2. Hay struck him out. 1 down here in the 6th inning.
Well, an Indians game always makes for a great group outing, and groups of 25 or more receive discounts of up to half off ticket prices. Just call 216-420-HITS and organize your group today.
Top of the order now, Michael Brantley. He is 2 for 3 with singles in each of his last 2 at-bats. Infield still in for the Royals. Tribe leads 5-3. Trying to take a commanding lead now. First pitch strike. Michael Brantley, so far, for whatever this is worth, is 3 for 5 against left-handed pitching.
Well, he's a guy, Matt, that doesn't have a big swing. And
he's going to tap it and punch it right through the infield. That's going to get 1 home. Crowe coming around third. He'll stop right there. So Brantley, with his 3rd straight hit in the game, picks up his 6th RBI here in the month. And the Indians now lead it 6-3. And again, Rick, there's a situation where he didn't hit it hard, but with the infield in, he
well,
didn't have to.
That's what makes you that. Remember how many times we talk about when the infield's in, you hit for 80 to 100 points higher. And that's one reason right there. You don't have to hit it hard. And it was in the right spot, so you just put the ball in play, which Brantley can do. And that's going to end the evening. And it was a short one for Hughes.
Timeout here at Progressive Field. Cleveland 6, Kansas City 3. The Indians have a 6-3 lead over the Royals, threatening to add to it with 2 on and 1 out. This is Victor Marte, better known as Victor Marte Manuel Rodriguez, but he prefers to go by Victor Marte.
So we will go Victor Marte. Can't wait till he faces Andy Marte.
Probably be the first time Marte has ever faced Marte.
Marte v. Marte.
Although Damaso Marte could have faced Andy Marte, but I don't know that we witnessed that. I'm not sure.
Oh, they'll look it up for you.
Marte was actually pitching well at AAA Omaha when he got the call up this year. He did not allow a home run in 42 innings of work at AAA this year. He's facing Jamie Carroll, who is 2 for 3 tonight with 2 doubles, a run batted in, and a run scored. He takes, and it's inside for ball 1. Brantley back with a dive. Didn't have a real big lead.
Well, you see what happens. You steal a base. Now they're going to start paying attention to you. But the one thing that Brantley did in his last at-bat, took off on the very first pitch. Carroll took it all the way. Now he's got to see if he can get a read because...
Ground ball single into left field. That's going to bring home Crow. Brantley stops at second. 7-3 Indians. Jamie Carroll's 3rd hit of the night. Both he and Brantley have combined for 6 hits, 3 runs batted in, and a couple of runs scored so far.
Well, Jamie, there you go. Fights off another one. Gets that little two-seamer inside. Finds a hole between short and third. Drives in his 24th run. Second of the night. Indians make it a 7-3 ball game.
Now is Drupal Cabrera, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
There's still just one out in the inning.
Seven runs on 10 hits for the Indians. 3 runs, 7 hits for Kansas City. High pop foul out of play. 1-1 the count. Cabrera was robbed of a hit his first time up. Mitch Meyer in a nice diving catch in center field. Last time up he was trying to bunt, and after 2 strikes had to swing away and was fooled by a curveball. This time he drives one deep right center field, way back, and it is on the track up into the seats for a ground rule double. And the Indians will pick up another run, and it's an 8-3 Indians lead. Cabrera's 37th double of the year, his 62nd RBI as Brantley scores and Carroll stops at third.
Well, they're starting to pour it on now. And this ball had gap written all over it as soon as it left the bat. He went down there and hit it a long way. That ball was sinking down and away. Look at, kept the hands back with the extension. It bounces on the track and up. So a ground rule double. That stops Carroll at third base. The Indians started today's game 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Since that point, they've been 6 out of 7.
And now they're going to pass on Shin-Soo Choo. They will load the bases for Johnny Peralta. That, by the way, closes the book on Dusty Hughes. He worked 1/3 of an inning and allows 3 runs on 2 hits tonight.
Gotcha.
But Victor Marte has provided no relief for Trey Hillman yet either. He's given up 2 hits and now an intentional walk. And Johnny Peralta, who gave the Indians their first 2 runs of the night, will be the batter. For Peralta, the 2-run double sandwiched in between 2 strikeouts. And Peralta now 3 for 8 in the series. Bases full of Indians here in the home half of the 6th as the Indians really try to blow it open now. They're already up by 5. They could turn this one into a laugher real quick. Outside ball 1. Inside 2-0. Tigers leading Detroit 6-5 at Comerica Park in the 8th inning. Tigers 6, Blue Jays 5. So I told you earlier the White Sox won, but the Twins lost. Broken bat, base hit left field. That's going to bring home Carroll. Cabrera coming around third. Here's the throw to the plate to Jesus. Won't get him this time. 2-run score on the base hit by Peralta. Johnny has 4 RBI on the night. And the Indians now lead it 10-3.
Well, I was just going to say, it can't happen 2 nights in a row where he can throw the 3rd time up and take a couple of ribbies away from Peralta. Johnny's got a little smirk there saying, all right, not tonight. You did it twice last night. So Marte has come into this game, and he hasn't gotten anybody out.
He's given up 3 hits, plus the intentional walk. He's already been tagged for 2 runs, and they're not done yet.
Yeah, and this will be the 9th man to hit for the Indians in the inning. They already have a 5 spot. They put 2 on the board in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and now 5 in the 6th.
Bob McClure going back to the dugout. Not sure what, if anything, he could tell Victor Marte. Other than whatever you're doing up to this point is not working, so try something else.
Maybe time to get that bullpen loose again. I don't know.
Hafner 0 for 3. He's flied to center, line to center, flied to left. A dozen hits for the Indians tonight. They've scored in 3 straight innings. 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and now 5 here in the 6th. But David Huff was pitching. We should have known.
That's what I told Murph. I said, Huff's been on the mound. They averaged 5.5 runs for him.
He's the run machine this year. Looking for his 10th win of the year. The 1-0 pitch. Down low. Hafner out of that slightly open stance, awaiting the 2-0. Big bouncer to first. Butler backs up, goes to second. They get the lead runner. The return throw off the glove of Marte. Indians will get another run as Chu comes home from third.
You don't make this throw. I don't care. You have to eat the ball. It's not a wise throw. You've got a young pitcher coming over to try and make that play, and he's just not going to get there. I thought right there it was enough to get one. He had to go back on the ball, but Betancourt decides to throw it. The pitcher gets over there, and the throw might have been a little offline, but the pitcher is not a first baseman. So the run will score on an error by, we'll see who they give it to. The shortstop, Betancourt, on the throw.
All right. So 2 down, a runner at first. 11-3 Cleveland. Man, Marte looks at the ball inside from Marte. This is the matchup we've been waiting all inning long for. Marte v. Marte. And he started the inning with a walk. And a strike called, 1-1. They're telling me that he never faced Damaso Marte, so we believe this is a very first in baseball. Marte v. Marte. Popped up. Butler makes the catch. So the matchup kind of fizzled on us, but the Indians' offense did not disappoint. 6 runs, 6 for the Tribe. They lead it 11-3. natural gas needs. Visit directenergy.com/GoTribe for details. And by AM/PM. Too much good stuff. (11-3) now in favor of the Indians. And the Tribe turns it over to their bullpen as Kelly Shopik takes over behind the plate. And Jensen Lewis is in the game now on the hill. David Huff, 6 innings tonight. He allowed 3 runs on 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 6. And did you know the Indians behind David Huff after a loss are 8-3?
Yeah, he's pitched well.
Looking to make it 9.
That's right. He'll have the chance to have 9 wins.
9 of his 10.
Yeah, 9 out of his 10 wins would be following a Tribe loss.
Getting a pinch hitter here, Josh Anderson for Unieski Betancourt. And it looks like Trey Hillman's going to empty his bench. Pinch hitter on deck as well. This is where, at times, September games can resemble spring training games because of the expanded roster.
You know, you get a game like this, it's out of control right now. You've got a day game tomorrow and getaway day. Yeah, you take a lot of guys out and you put your kids in there.
Swing and a miss. Chance for Trey Hillman to find something out about some of his young guys. Get them a little opportunity at the big league level. Let them get their feet wet, whether it's dipping a toe in the water or jumping in full on. I don't know. Swung out and missed. Lewis takes care of Anderson, 1 down.
Well, when the Indians wrap up the homestand, that'll be tomorrow against the Royals. All kids 14 and under are going to receive a Grady Sizemore wall banner. It's also Kids Fun Day. Come on out. You can run the bases, play out on the plaza, pregame. And then tomorrow it's National Grandparents' Day. Grandparents, you can take the trip around the bases with the kids, so come on out. Enjoy it. Should be a beautiful day.
This is Luis Hernandez now hitting for David DeJesus. His first action in the series. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2. He has not played in the last 5 games. Hit .303 in 55 games at AAA Omaha. He's also played with the Orioles back in 07 and in 08. This scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Pop back out of play. We're in the 7th here at Progressive Field with the Tribe comfortably ahead 11-3. Jensen Lewis with a 1-2 pitch. Got him. And he has struck out the first 2. And that'll bring up Willie Bloomquist, or will we get another pinch hitter?
Well, he just throws this ball right by, and that ball was in the glove by the time Hernandez swung. Out of the strike zone, got him to chase it.
This will be Willie Bloomquist. 1 for 3, drove in a pair back in the 5th. And for the moment, that had the Royals in front by a score of 3-2. That was the last time they led in this game. Right back to the screen it goes. We're right back at it tomorrow, 1 o'clock, right here on Channel 3. We'll have all the action for you as the Indians wrap up this 3-game series with Kansas City. Blew it by him. Lewis has got pretty good life on his fastball. It doesn't blow up the radar gun, but these hitters are not catching up to it.
That pitching matchup tomorrow here on 3 is Carlos Carrasco and Kyle Davies.
The 1-2. Line towards center field. A base hit for Bloomquist. His second hit of the night. And a 2-out base runner now for Billy Butler. Butler is 1 for 3 tonight. He drove in a run back in the third.
I'm going to send along a happy anniversary to Babs and John Meek, celebrating their 17th anniversary. So happy anniversary.
Strike call to Butler. 0-1 to count. Ground ball hit to short. Nice pick by Cabrera. Goes the short way to end the inning. Stretch time here in Cleveland. Indians bats making a lot of noise tonight. And a reminder that Panini's newest and largest location is now open in Westlake with a brand new menu. And that new menu is coming to a Panini's near you. Stay up to date by checking them out online at paninisgrill.com. Changes now for Kansas City as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Mitch Myers slides over from center to left. Josh Anderson, who just pinch hit, is now in the game in center. And Luis Hernandez takes over for Betancourt at shortstop. New pitcher is left-hander Bruce Chen. And the first pitch popped up by Trevor Crow right in front of home plate. And Olivo squeezes it for out number 1.
Chen has made 9 starts for them this year. occurring for the 16th time. That was very early in the season. It was in April.
Kelly Shopik struck out his first and only at bat tonight. Outside a ball and a strike. There's Jess Todd loosening now in the Indians bullpen. Checked his swing. Did he go? He did not, says first base umpire Ron Culpa. Now the 3-1. And it's ball 4. Let's go back to the studios once again for a Ford Sports Update. Here's Al Pulaski.
All right, Matt, Toronto was down 6-3 to Detroit. They got up to 6-5, and then Brandon Lyon gives them a gift. Wild pitch here. Vernon Wells scores, ties the game at 6 in the 8th. They're now on the top of the 9th. 6-all, Toronto and Detroit. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. It's been a strange year in the Central Division.
Yeah, well, you talk about giving it away, a wild pitch, let the tying run in. Well, everybody has been losing in that division. The White Sox did win today, so they're going to jump back in front of Minnesota.
But, when we were just in Detroit on that last road trip, it looked like Detroit was putting the pieces together.
Yes, it did.
And really ready to make a strong push toward October. And now they've fallen flat. 4 straight losses and struggling again tonight.
The scary thing is they went back home. They got beat out on the road. Kansas City got them in KC, but then they go back home, and that's where they play very well. 45-23 going into tonight's game there at Comerica Park.
Two-two pitch. Brantley slices it foul, and it will make it into the seats. Michael's looking for a 4-hit night.
Well, he got a little upset last night. He was shut out for the first time. Didn't get a base hit. So you come back with a vengeance.
And he does have his first 4-hit game in the big leagues. An opposite field single sends Shopik to second base.
See him stay back on the breaking ball against the left-hander. Picture perfect. Slap it the other way. Watch his hands. Just stayed back. His body never moved forward to get out front of the baseball where the hands drag. He stayed back and got his hands through the hitting area. Nicely done. 4 hits for Michael Brantley tonight.
So 2 on, 1 out. Jamie Carroll looks at a ball down low. Carroll's had a 3-hit night. He's looking to join Brantley in the 4-hit club. Jamie with a couple of doubles, 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. One way to ensure your name gets written in the lineup the next day. go out and throw up 4 hits. Swing and a miss. Carroll. A little overly aggressive that time. Strikes out. 2 down here in the 7th.
Well, Kick It is a campaign to raise money for pediatric, adolescents, and young adult cancer research. Kids can register their kickball teams at Indians.com or kickit.org. They'll hold kickball games in their community to raise money through September, and teams will be selected to play special Kick It games right here at Progressive Field. Kits are available at Indians team shops, Indians.com, or kickit.org.
As Drupal Cabrera drove in a run with an RBI double his last time up. He scored twice tonight. There's a line drive left field, another knock. It's going to go by the outfielder all the way to the fence. Shopik scores. Brantley stops at third. Cabrera with his second straight double. 12-3 Cleveland. Mitch Meyer was racing over to cut that off, and that ball was hit so hard that he had no chance.
That's the 6th double for the Indians tonight. Another low ball that Cabrera goes down and hits out. His last double was down out over the plate. Loves the low ball. Shopik scores the 12th run. Indians now have 14 hits.
And now Shin-Soo Choo takes a strike. There's a drive to deep center field. Back goes Anderson, and he'll make the catch. Indians tack on another run. We'll go to the 8th. 12-3 Cleveland.
And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Hafner and Hafner. Checking out some new gear. Indians beating them up tonight 12-3. Jess Todd coming on to pitch now. His 13th appearance of the year. He'll face Mike Jacobs, Alberto Callaspo, and Miguel Olivo, the scheduled hitters.
So Jensen Lewis went his inning, gave up a hit, struck out a couple.
Three on the right side for Jacobs, who has struck out twice tonight. He hammers one deep right field, and it's foul. Well, Rick, here's one that has Bill Veck's, the late Bill Veck, his fingerprints all over it. For the first time ever, the Kansas City Royals are going to allow you to bring your dog to a game at Kauffman Stadium. They've got a promotion entitled Bark at the K. It's going to take place in the final home game of the season. There's only a limited number of Bark packages available at $25 each. It includes one human ticket and one doggy ticket.
Oh, boy.
Additional human tickets can be purchased for the dog-accessible areas.
That's just where you want to hang out. Wear a new pair of shoes when you're walking that area.
The package includes a Royals dog bowl and a donation to the Greater Kansas City Humane Society. Also, a halfway home pet adoptions and wayside waifs. All three charities will offer adoptions during the game, which takes place against the Twins.
I know that the Padres have done that before at Petco Park, where you're allowed to bring the dogs in. Now that I've heard, but never in Kansas City.
So this will be a first. Unfortunately, we will not be there to witness
God.
it in person.
That's good.
I think that...
I wonder if the concession stands over there are going to maybe sell
Milk
KC scoopers for the dogs.
Jacobs strikes out, and Shopik throws him out to complete the out. One down. Well, at the very least, I think they need to have a supply of dog bones or milk bones or whatever.
Something's got to go on, yeah.
I just think it could really make for an interesting afternoon if they get a lot of dogs, and what if they start barking and making a lot of noise during the game?
Oh, they will.
It could be a riot. The biggest problem they might have is if a dog figures on jumping the fence and running onto the field. Good luck catching a dog once he gets loose.
I think you'll see highlights of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Once the day is over with, they'll be on a leash.
Yep. You know how that goes, though. It takes one slight little slip up. I thought you had the leash. No, I thought you had the leash. Where's the dog? He's in left field. Callaspo looks at the ball. 3-0. And there for a strike. The 3-1 pitch, and it's ball 4. Let's have a look at the results on our All-Tel text poll question of the game. And 1/3 of the viewers tonight think Kelly Shopik will be back as the Indians' starting catcher in 2010. Certainly there is consideration for guys like Torregas and Marson and Carlos Santana, who, as Rick mentioned, we haven't had a chance to see yet this year. But all those decisions will be coming in the offseason, I am sure, once the season wraps up. Mark Shapiro and his staff will huddle. Mark mentioned earlier in the year when the Indians made an official announcement that Eric Wedge and his staff would be intact through the remainder of the season. Well, that's going to be a decision that will have to be made at the end of the season, where they go in terms of Eric and the staff swung on and missed. 1-1 to count.
Well, I'm sure that will be decided soon after the season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a disappointing year for the Indians, and nobody has felt that disappointment more than Tribe skipper Eric Wedge. But he also is not a guy who walks around with his head in the clouds. He realizes that, hey, it's a business, and ultimately managers get fired. 2 down after Olivo fouls out. One thing about Eric that you do have to admire is that with all the negativity that has swirled around the club because of the poor play and all the speculation that has swirled, it hasn't altered him.
Well, no, it won't.
He comes to work, he's the same guy every day.
Yeah, he'll take the brunt, he'll take the pressure off of this team. And boy, they have been through a lot this year.
Mitch Meyer 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out in his last at bat. Missed inside, 2-0. Now the 2-1 at the knees. Evens the count. Now the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Jess Todd strikes out a pair. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Tribe leading it 12-3. Fleece blankets handed out before tonight's ball game. Some folks putting them to use. Indians comfortably in front tonight, 12-3. Brian Pena checks in for the Royals behind the dish. New pitcher is Yasuhiko Yabuda. takes over for Bruce Chen, who allowed a run on 2 hits in his 1 inning of relief. He'll face Johnny Peralta.
No, we're going to get a pinch hitter. Newman
Romero will pinch hit for Johnny. Travis Hafner is next, and then Andy Marte is scheduled. Yasuhiko Yabuda signed a 2-year deal with the Royals, and it's been pretty much a disappointment. 12-year veteran of the Japanese League, was 1-3 in only 31 appearances last year.
Well, yeah, he was back down to the minor leagues before the year even finished.
And this year he's only appeared in, this is just his 6th game, so not exactly what they had in mind.
Well, Hillman managed over there in Japan, so he should have had an idea how some of these guys pitched. But it didn't translate over into this baseball.
Oh, that one hit him right on the leg. His flip to first, not in time, and Romero has an infield single. Once again, let's pause 10 seconds and let stations identify themselves. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here at Progressive Field, and this is the first major league hit of the career of Newman Romero, and it nails Yabuda on the, look like on the ankle maybe, and the trainers are out taking a look at him right now.
Well, it had to hurt. He was limping over there. It might have got him on the inside of the left knee. He came over there. I give him credit. He got off the mound and tried to flip it, and you can see him limping after that. Yeah. Flexen trying to get a little feeling in there. Well, congratulations to Romero for getting his first major league hit. That's 15 now for the Indians tonight. And he's going to try and stay in there. It looks like it's on the, what's it on, a left leg? His landing leg?
He says he's all right. He's going to give it a go. So Yabuda stays in. And Travis Hafner coming up 0 for 4 tonight. Indians lead it by 9 here, bottom of the 8th. Travis Hafner takes a strike. I think the one thing that Trey Hillman wanted to accomplish when he took over the Royals job was to try to change the culture of losing that has become part of their existence. And when you have had as many bad seasons as they've had, it just starts to seep into everybody's thinking. And an example of that is printed in the paper today in Kansas City, a little note that said the Royals must go 7-14 over the remaining 21 games to avoid a 5th 100-loss season in 8 years.
Well, yeah, that's what they're looking at. I mean, there's really, how can you look at it any other way? Think about it. When you've lost 104 times out of 7, I mean, that's, they're looking usually in May or early June where they're out of it, out of contention. They haven't done anything to prove it. I don't know how you can change the outlook of it.
You can't until you start playing better. That's the bottom line.
You got to get wins.
And it looked like they were off to that kind of a start this year. As Hafner strikes out, we mentioned they were 18-11. They had a 3-game lead in the Central Division in May. They had won 5 straight games at that point on May the 7th, and then they proceeded to lose their next 6 in a row, and it's been another typical, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it's been another typical Royals season ever since then. Andy Marte takes a strike. In the dirt. I mentioned, they had the 6-game win streak, then they lost 6 in a row immediately after that. At the end of April into early June, they lost 8 in a row. But then in July, they dropped 10 straight games. And when you have those kind of losing streaks, it sucks the life out of you.
Yeah, it sure does. And they can't score. That's when they run into those slumps where they get a couple of runs or one run a game, and you can't win in the American League doing that.
Line drive left center field. This is going to hit the gap, go all the way to the fence. Newman Romero coming around third. He's going to be waved home. Throw to the plate. Not even close. 13-3 Cleveland as Andy Marte records his 3rd double of the year and gets his 18th run batted in.
7 doubles tonight now for the Indians. That's got to be getting close to a season high. He went down and hit one right into the gap. That's 7. That ties him with the Yankees April 18th this year. Remember, they went out and they pounded that, was it the 22-run game? Well, they had 7 doubles in that ball game. They have 7 tonight, so it ties a season high. They have 16 hits and they have 13 runs.
Up high. Two and one. There's a base hit into right field for Trevor Crowe. Marte will be stopped at third. And it has been some kind of night for the Indians offensively as they just keep rapping out hits. Let's go back to the studios once again. Al has another Ford Sports update. I believe he's got more from that crazy game in Detroit.
Yeah, Matt, and here in the 9th inning, 2 outs for Toronto. Aaron Hill at the plate against Fernando Rodney with the runner aboard. He goes yard. 32nd time this year. Puts Toronto ahead 8-6. Detroit batting in the 9th. 2 outs, 2 on. Back to you.
Wow, that kid's having some kind of year.
Isn't it amazing, though, how many times you see a closer come in a tie game and get hit hard or, give up a couple of runs or something like that?
Well, yeah, a lot of guys will bring him in the 9th inning at home.
Yeah, because there's not going to be a save situation
right
after that. So,
but it may be a different mindset. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't like it a lot of times, but they feel it's the best option.
A lot of managers look at it like, well, who's our best pitcher in the bullpen? Well, it's our closer. Well, let's put him in. It's a tie game. Keep it a tie game. Give our offense a chance in the next half inning, but a lot of times it doesn't work that well. Kelly Shopik has struck out and walked. And he's got a 2-0 count here. Three hits in the inning off Yasuhiko Yabuta. And the Indians have scored in 5 straight innings. They already had a game on this homestand where they scored in the last 6 innings of a game.
Right.
They won't bat in the 9th tonight, but they've scored in the last 5 innings of this game. There's a ground ball to short, double play ball. 6-4-3. And we'll go to the 9th. All Tribe tonight, 13-3 Cleveland. Newman Romero stays in the ballgame. He takes over at third base after he picked up his first major league hit tonight. Alex Gordon will lead it off here in the 9th for Kansas City. And Josh Anderson and Luis Hernandez, the scheduled batters. Line drive right field and foul. A reminder, we'll have the series finale tomorrow at 1 o'clock right here on Channel 3. Carlos Carrasco for the Tribe and Kyle Davies for Kansas City. It's a final in Detroit. Tigers fall again. They've lost 5 in a row. And the Chicago White Sox, with their win, pick up a full game and are just 5 games now in back of the Tigers. Minnesota, with their loss, stay 5.5 back, fall to third place. Liner toward right field and a base hit. Alex Gordon gets his first hit of the night. Time now for our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game. And Michael Brantley with his first Major League 4-hit game. The only game he hasn't hit in the big leagues was last night's contest. Josh Anderson struck out in his first plate appearance tonight. Wow. That's a good one. The last Indian to have a 4-hit game in his first 10 major league games played, 1986, Andy Allenson. Remember the old catcher?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Not the kind of name you were looking for. Is that what you were saying?
Well, I didn't. I bet he didn't have another 4-hit game after that. No kidding. In the first 10 games. That's that research done by who? Popper?
Yes.
Very good. I'm surprised he pulled himself away from the OSU game to find that note. Someone had to give it to him.
Thank you, Popper. One-two pitch and a swing. I think he went around. He'll appeal. He did go, absolutely. Mike Estabrook raising the right hand. So that is a strikeout for Jess Todd, number 3. That's one out here in the 9th.
Yes, he did go. No doubt about it. So one down.
Luis Hernandez steps in. We'll have the Conrad's postgame show immediately after the game on Sports Time Ohio. Talk with one of the heroes, and there are many to choose from tonight as the Indians have wrapped out 17 hits. And David Huff looking to win his 10th game of the year. Hernandez taking aim on some of his teammates over there at the end of the Royals dugout. Sent them scattering, including the guy he pinch hit for in the 7th inning, David DeJesus. 1 on, 1 out, and a 1-1 pitch coming up for Hernandez. Strike call to the outside edge. Now the 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat foul. You got a fleece bag blanket and a souvenir tonight to take home.
Great night.
Now Jess Todd ready with a 1-2 pitch. And a base hit into center field. Gordon stops at second. Willie Bloomquist is 2 for 4 tonight. He doubled in a pair in the 5th, singled in the 7th. Just Todd, a first pitch strike to Bloomquist. Indians took the mystery and suspense out of this one with a 6-run 6th inning. The 0-1 delivery in the dirt. In that 6-run 6th inning, it started with a walk to Andy Marte. Then Trevor Crowe doubled to right center. And after Kelly Shopik struck out as a pinch hitter, the Indians just put the pedal to the metal. Michael Brantley and Jamie Carroll and Asdrubal Cabrera had back-to-back-to-back RBI hits. An intentional walk to Chu, then Johnny Peralta with a 2-run single, and just like that, the Indians had pulled away. 2-1 to count. Up to that point, though, it was a pretty entertaining game. It was back and forth. Royals led 1-0. Indians went ahead 2-1. Kansas City came back to make it 3-1. And the Indians had a big 3-run fifth inning.
Well, all in all, it'll be David Huff looking for win number 10 to get it.
Pop back up and foul, out of play.
And 9 out of those 10 wins will be coming after an Indians loss.
Something to be said for that. I mean, I know we've talked a lot about the fact that, hey, they score a lot of runs when he pitches, which is why, he's going to have 10 wins, even though his ERA is, I think it's still going to be over 6 tonight. If it's not, it's in the high 5s. But there's also something to be said about winning.
W. Put that W next to your name. I don't care what your ERA is or how you go about doing it. Just find a way to get a win. That's the bottom line. I remember when Dave Berber was here and pitched for 3 years. He won 15 games every year. And, he might have had a high ERA, but he went out there. 15 wins is 15 wins. I don't care how you do it.
They don't grow on trees, as they say. 15
win
game
7-6, and you got to win 2-1.
Yeah.
I mean, when you don't get runs, you got to find a way to keep your team in it and get a chance for a win. That's all. It's plain and simple.
Jess Todd ready with the 2-2 pitch, and the count goes full. Jess Todd working with a 10-run lead. And the count is full now on Willie Bloomquist here. And the payoff pitch is fouled back. Jess Todd worked the 8th inning. And now with what's happened here in the 9th, he's made 35 pitches already. And he's in danger of loading the bases if he's not careful. Here's the set and the payoff. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 4 strikeouts for Todd. 2 down in the 9th. Billy Butler, 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI single back in the 3rd. Here's the pitch to Butler, and it's low for ball 1. Indians looking for win number 61 on the year. More importantly, they're just trying to get a win. The Indians have dropped 4 in a row, lost 9 out of 11. They had been playing much better baseball of late. But after this recent skid, dropped back to 20 games below the break-even mark. The 2-0 pitch to Butler. 3-0. Crowd oohing and awing, saying it's a 13-3 game. There's a called strike. Indians 1 out away from wrapping it up. 2 on, 2 out, 3-1 pitch. Lined on the left field line, but foul.
Oh, not by much.
And the count goes full. 3-2 with 2 on and 2 out. Butler almost had the Royals circling the bases here. So the runners will be off with a 3-2 pitch. And he walked him. How do you like that? Bases loaded with 2 down here in the 9th.
Yeah,
and Carl Willis has to get on the phone and get somebody up throwing in the bullpen.
No, just because he's throwing so many pitches. Yeah. I mean, he came back in his second inning of work. I mean, he had a good first inning. Well, now he's got to take a jog out to the mound. The last thing a pitching coach wants to do in a 13-3 game is to go out to the mound. But he's going to have to stall for some time.
I tell you one thing. If you're Rafael Perez right now, it's kind of it's just kind of a cruel way of the game saying, here's where you're at right now.
Well,
you're warming up in a 10-run game.
He was probably thinking of the spread Tony was having after the game.
2 years ago, he was one of the most dominant setup guys from the left side. That's how quickly things can change. Mike Jacobs 0 for 4 tonight. Takes a rip, fouls it straight back. Jacobs 0 for 7 in the series. He has struck out 3 times tonight. And a line drive, base hit down the right field line. Gordon scores, Hernandez scores, Butler stops at third. Mike Jacobs with a 2-run single. And it's a 13-5 ball game. Alberto Callaspo will be the batter. Outside, ball 1. Alberto Callaspo doubled back in the 4th inning. He's flied to left, popped to short, and also walked tonight. He was so far out in front of that one, he almost made contact with the ball when the ball was like, it looked like it was in the batter's box. He was so far out in front of that thing. The 1-1 outside. Butler at third, Jacobs at first. 2 down in the 9th. And the 2-1 pitch is ball 3.
He's just thrown so many pitches. You know, he's probably burned out right now. And they may end up having, if he doesn't get this guy, he may have to go to the pen.
It's 48 pitches for Jess Todd to this point. And now the 3-1. It's called a strike. Kayaspo is ready to head to first. Full count. Here's the set and the payoff pitch. And it's fouled away. Jess Todd ready. 3-2 delivery. And a base hit into right field. That's going to bring home Butler. Jacobs will stop at second. And I think that's going to be it for Jess Todd.
You can't leave that poor kid out there any longer. He can't get through the inning.
So we've got a timeout here at Progressive Field with our score. Cleveland 13, Kansas City 6. Well, 13-6, Indians on top. Royals have a couple of runners on base, and the new Indians pitcher is left-hander Rafael Perez. He just needs to record one out to finish this game up for the Indians. It's just been a nightmarish season for Rafael Perez, and Eric Wedge just wants to find opportunities to get Perez into some games to try and build on something for next year. So it's a situation where, again, you're dealing with psyche and confidence, so you don't want to bring him into a tight game right now because he's feeling for it and he doesn't have that confidence. So you have to pick your spots. You got to find ways to get him in. You can't just let him sit out there and not pitch.
Well, it's been one of those years, I think, for Rafael Perez. His money pitch has always been that slider. You know, he could throw his fastball at will for strikes, and that slider was right there and dominate left-handed hitters and also right-handers. But it just has not been there for him this year.
He will face Brian Pena. Swung on and missed. Broke his bat, and it goes foul. 0-2 the count. Two on, two out, two-strike pitch coming from Rafael Perez. And it's a line drive left field, caught by a jumping Trevor Crowe, and the game is over. Now the Royals pick up 3 runs here in the 9th inning, but the Indians win it going away tonight. 13-6 is the final score, and the series is now even at a game apiece with the rubber match coming.